Okay, so welcome to the second episode of GZK Podcast. Today we have Marione Malimba with us. We are also co-funding her project lately. She's working on a children's book project, and we are very happy to have you here today.
Thank
So, maybe you can introduce yourself so also people know who we are talking with today.
I'm Marione Malimba, and until recently, I identified myself as a researcher, but now I can say confidently that I'm an author. I'm a writer, yes. I write, and my passion is really with children is literature. Yeah, and I haven't done it for so long. In fact, I've not published entirely something with the children, although I have published something with the adults. Yes, but my heart really is with writing for children. And I'm very excited about this new journey in my life. And I hope that I can be a voice to children, really, and, inspire them to be, bigger and and all that they have in them, achieve all that. So yes, that's a bit about me, I can say. Yeah.
So I remember when you applied for the project grant, you wrote that you want to focus on children, like vulnerable children who also have like a low life expectation. So like this kind of, let's say, group who don't have enough, platforms in society. And this was something also we really liked about your project. So maybe shortly for our listeners, what is it about, like in some sentences, the project?
Okay, so this project really it's about giving voice to vulnerable kids. And in vulnerable, I mean, there's lots of vulnerable children, but I'm focusing on the terminally ill, like she said, and those that are with special needs. Often in society, people are looking out for like the brilliant, the most, the best kids, to do things for. But there are also these other, kids who have something to say, I believe. And now I know that they do actually have something to say. And they have as many abilities. They are so interesting, when you just listen to them. And yes, and those are the ones I'm focusing on. Yeah. So basically what we are doing, with the project, the kids come up with these stories. Yes, it's kind of competitive because I have to select the best stories, of course. I cannot publish everyone. So reach out to this category of kids, and then they come up with the stories. They work with their parents, and this actually has been a wonderful time. I mean, a blessing in disguise because it's COVID time. So they're at home with their parents. So you see some of them, the grandmothers helping them. So they come up with a story, and then they submit it to me, and then I can, we work on it a lot more, and then so the best stories will be published in an anthology, of special kid good writers. Yes.
And how exactly do you reach out to the kids?
So luckily in my former life I did research, and I kind of have contacts within the communities. So because of COVID, it has really, I really hoped that I would be able to to go maybe to a hospital identify a child and sit down with them and work with them, but that has not been possible actually. So what I do, I have to work directly with like a health worker, somebody to identify the children for me without me making the initial contact, then work with the parent. Well, there are a few whom I've been able to see, which is great, but most of the time, like, I have to now interact with the adult, not even physical, but maybe talk on the phone, and then they like talk with the child, teach them, how to do it. They submit whatever they have, and then they send me little videos of, them telling the stories. So that's really it. It's a constraint in a sense, but again, it's a good thing. So that's how it has been.
Okay. And you started the project 1 month ago, 2 months ago? When was that?
At the end of, let's say July, yes.
Oh, July, okay.
Yes.
Yeah. And until now, how many stories have you been collecting already, and what kind of challenges did you find during this procedure of collecting stories?
So I guess I have to say, I've been lucky because right now I can confidently say I have 12 stories.
Wow, that's
Yeah,
amazing.
which is actually good given, the situation and the circumstances. One of the challenges really is that I have to actually reject some stories, and it's really heartbreaking, after working with the child for so long. But then, because I've explained to them what's gonna happen with the stories in case they are selected. Of course, they know in case the stories it is, the story has to be good. But then, having to to give up on the child, it's a bit, it's hard because they're really eager and excited. So that's really, it's kind of, it's eating on me. And I'm even thinking, like, for I have 12. My target was at least 20, and I'm thinking of reconsidering, maybe working more with the kid, and having to get that on board. But yeah, but anyway, I'll see how that plays out.
And how do you select the stories? Like, what does the story need to be part of your book, let's say?
Well, that's very well. The story has to be interesting. That's the first thing, yeah. And the ability of the child to tell the story, because the other challenge that I've met is that, like, with the special needs children, for most of the organizations I reached out with, some of these kids really have challenges, physical or mental. Like, where the mental illness is severe or something, so they cannot really come up with something. So yes, there is that. And then, of course, in our storytelling, I have guides. Like, I've come up with some pictures for them. So one of the thing is the ability to to put, like, I have a set of quite a number of pictures, maybe up to 12, and they can pick up to 8, between 3 and 8, and then jumble it up and come up with a story. So the ability to do that, I think it shows that a child can actually work with a story. And yes, that's just potential for storytelling. Yes. And then also, like, I have some initial questions that I ask them, like, tell me about your best memory. You can tell when a child can actually narrate something, say something up. Yeah, so that's some of the criteria that I use. But yeah, I'm really trying to I wish I could just go with everyone, but
Yeah,
that's
it's
not a
always hard
possibility.
to select, I guess, but then it's also like your artwork, and you have to also
Yeah.
see that it fits to the vision you have with this anthology.
Yes.
So I think what's also interesting to our followers, maybe you can tell a bit about the stories you already gained. Like, what is the fantasy of the children? Because I really wonder, like, what are they coming up with? What kind of items or stories? Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay, so one of the questions, one of the questions I ask, what do you imagine you'll be when you grow up? So that has to be a key component in whatever they are telling. So some with the kids, they already have this what can I call it, mindset. I mean, they have to say something really like, I want to be a teacher, I want to be a doctor, I want to be this. But then, like, when you keep asking, like, why do you want to be a doctor? Do you know any doctors? And then, yeah, so it's interesting. But about the stories, well, I have had quite some very interesting stories. Like, there is usually the folk stories of the hair and all that, but I'm not publishing those really. I kind of try to sift away from those. I think there's already many of them out there. Yeah, but there are some who are telling those which indicates their ability to tell a story. But then, of course, you have to sway them away from that, and then refocus them on the pictures. So one of the stories, and one of the that really interests me, that I actually love, is from a little girl called Precious. And she tells of this little boy at home with his parents. And he plays a musical instrument. I'm still trying to find the right English word for the instrument. Because the story is actually told in the local languages. So he plays an instrument and he really loves it. So one time the boy is told uh, to attend to a certain chore. I don't want to give all the details of the stories. To attend to something while his parents are away, but because he loves playing the instrument so much, he kind of forgets and loses time. So he just keeps on with the instrument, and he does not really do what he's supposed to do. So the parents return and he did not do what he was supposed to do. So they are really mad at him and they throw away the instrument. And he's so mad, and so he goes ahead and climbs. There is a big tree in their backyard, which he is not supposed to climb. So he climbs the tree and says he will not come down. So the tree kind of starts to move away. Yeah, well, he will not come down. So the mother is telling him, "Come on, boy, come down," and the boy says, "No, I'm not gonna come down. When I was you, and you cannot call me my boy, because when I was your boy, you caught my instrument and threw it away." So there is that kind of back and forth with the parent, but while all that is happening, the tree keeps moving away.
It's a nice inspiration.
Yes, it is. I found that so. The tree moves and sinks with the boy, and it's so sad. But then
So this is the story of Precious.
Yes, Precious tells the story, and I'm like, wow, this is so good.
And this story you just told us, did she give it to you by audio? Like, how did you get to this?
Yes,
story?
audio actually.
Okay.
Yeah, because she first submitted a story which wasn't so good, but like I said, I have a problem like saying no, I guess. So I have to to keep working with the child, and then I guess she worked with her grandmother on this or that. She came up with so I don't know whether it's they came up with it. So
so you got the audio version
Yes,
of Precious telling you this kind of story, and then you put it together.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Yeah. That's really some nice fantasy there.
It is. And there is a lot more to it. I'm just trying.
I can imagine.
Not to release everything.
Yeah. And now looking into the next months, when do you think the book will be ready? Roundabout?
I'm really praying that by Christmas, I must have something to go back to I have to have copies for the kids, because I'm thinking it's gonna be like their Christmas gifts and and something more. So
nice idea.
So I really hope that I have the book published maybe by, because I need to be selling copies by like November. So hopefully
Cool.
the next few months I hope this can be out, because I'm really thinking that I want to give them that Christmas excitement.
Yeah, that would
I
be
think
nice.
that would be really nice.
Cool. And in the beginning you said that you've been publishing like books for adults. So what was this book about?
Well, it was actually a non-fiction essay. It was still in an anthology. Yes, it was published by Bacon Press. That's in the US. Yeah, so it's about letting go. It was but was more of non-fiction. So
Okay, cool. So where do you see yourself in 5 years? You also asked this question to the kids, but from now on
it's my turn.
now it's your turn.
Oh boy, I really hope that I really hope that with the writing, I really hope in 5 years I've really published more than 3 or 4 books, and not just books that have won maybe literary awards and prizes. Yeah, and I also hope with this I hope to do more of things like this anthology, and maybe have it in a different angle, but I hope to do more things with kids in 5 years. I think that would be really exciting, because it's really it's really nice engaging the kids and going down to their level, speaking to them, and working their. I mean, they're kids. They most likely have an imagination. So yeah, dig into that and listening to them. There's so much with them that sometimes is left and what can I say? That's not.
It's left unsaid at some
Yes,
point.
unsaid. Yeah. And it's exciting for them. Like getting them involved, doing something totally out of their comfort zone and working on something, Yeah, I think it's good, and I really hope to do that. I really have so many dreams, like, especially with the special needs kids. I really hope, like, with this book, if we can sell so many copies, yes, of course, the kids will benefit, the ones who participated, who submitted, but then I also hope, like, have like rehabilitation centers, in small not so big, but something in their communities where they can go and just do things that are are for them, because one of the things that I realized, while some are able to come out and actually do something, there are those who are more, whose physical condition is more, I mean, which does not allow them to do certain things. Yeah, and but you see, they would love so much to do something, but they're unable, and the challenge is working with their organizations. They really bring up those ones, and you're like, oh, and your heart just keeps breaking, and you feel like I wish there's something I could do. But I think having those centers, like within their communities, would really be a great thing. Somewhere where they can go. I mean, the parents can drop them, perhaps, and they're just loved, and they can do things that they like, maybe play, and maybe look at books, I hope it will have some books.
Yeah.
Yes, storybooks and all that. Yeah, I guess that's the big picture. Yeah, that would be really nice.
No, I feel you totally, yes.
Yeah.
And also, like, when they have access to books and to art, like, it's even like art therapy or something, like they can deal with themselves, and yeah, it's nice. And so when the book is ready, where will it be published? Like, where can people get it?
Oh, I really hope to have it like on Amazon, and and on so many, like
Aristoc.
Yeah, even in of course, Aristoc.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope to have a little marketing plan. I will probably avail it, like, hopefully like schools, Yeah, well, we don't know when the school's gonna open, but
Yeah, true. But I also think, regarding this project, the most important thing is, like, that the kids also get the books and they have something in their hands, and saying, like, hey, I was part of this. I was, like, creating stories for this book, so this is my achievement.
This is my story. Yes,
this is my story. Yeah, I really like that, because somehow it's simple in its idea, still, like, I mean, complex, or like to implement it, because everything has to work out. But in the end, like, having this book in your hands, I think that will make the children really happy.
Yes.
And I'm very excited to get to know more stories besides the one from Precious. No, I'm very looking forward. Okay, so I hope by the end of this year we will see the book. So yeah, everyone should stay tuned on our social media channels. We will announce the final product of Marione Malimba, and we're also happy to continue helping you with this journey and working close to you. So I hope you enjoyed the session, and maybe some last words to the people who want to do a similar project. Do you have any advice to people who have, like, a same vision? What is the most important thing they have to follow?
Well, you must love kids to do something like this. Yes, obviously. So the heart, that's good. And then you have to keep an open mind, because I had all this whole concept, when I was going in, with my ideas, with all these questions and how I was gonna implement, and then there is COVID, and there's all that. But when you keep an open mind and then give the children a chance, like one try, 2 tries, up to 3 tries, you'll be surprised with what you actually get out of the kids. Yeah, because I all kids are special. Yeah, and there is a lot going on in their minds that you think they may be small, but there is a lot going on, and they would surprise you. Yes.
Nice. That's a perfect end. Thank you so much. And everyone stay tuned, and we will hear much more from Marione very soon. Thank you.